25 bullet journal hacks. Yes please, let's go. If you have a journal that doesn't have a pen loop, but does have an elastic closure, you can bring the elastic around the top right corner, across the front of the notebook diagonally, and then over the bottom right corner. Then you can slide your pen under the elastic, either on the front of the journal or on the side. Sometimes we set up a layout that only takes one page, or accidentally skip a spread in our journals. Keep a reference list in the front of your journal about these skipped pages, so that anytime you need a spare page for something you want to add in your journal, you can use those pages up first. Migrating tasks from one spread to another can sometimes take a while, for example from your weekly spread to other parts of your journal. To make sure that you know whether your migration has been completed in full, or if there are still things to be dealt with on the layout, include a tick box at the top of the spread so that you can denote when you finished with the spread fully. If you have a task that has multiple parts or subtasks, you can nest the subtasks by indenting them underneath the main task. This helps to keep all of the relevant tasks together and allows you to see the progress you're making with that task. I use this for tasks like laundry, with the subtasks of wash, dry, and put away. The advice from the original bullet journal method is to put any new collections on a new page, but sometimes the collections we want to set up are pretty small, or maybe we want to be able to more easily reference the information without having to flick back through a bunch of daily or weekly logs. Our hack for this is to keep micro collections or collections that you want to reference in the future in the back of your journal so that they're easier to find. For collections that you know you'll want to move into your next journal, set them up as removable pages. This can be done by setting up a collection on a spare piece of paper, either from the back of your journal or from a dot grid notepad, and then putting it into your journal with washi tape or slipping it into the back pocket. This means that when it comes to migration, you just have to take the collection out of your current journal and put it into your next one. If you have reference materials that you're going to want to refer to for quite a long time, or even just longer than the life of one journal, another tip is to set up a separate journal for these. I call mine my long-term collections journal, and it holds things like swatch pages from my favorite pens, a master list of the monthly themes I want to do, my apocalypse, or things I want to do before the apocalypse, and other collections that I'll reference for years to come. When ruling lines in your journal, sometimes we run the risk of over or under extending those lines. While lines that are too short aren't too much of a hassle, lines that are too long can be pretty annoying. Safeguard yourself against overextending lines by marking the first and last dot that you want to rule between so that you know where to stop your ruling. Counting grid spaces when you're setting up your journal can be a bit of a chore. Instead, use your ruler to count the grid spaces. My dot grid has spaces that are 1/2 centimeter wide, so to count the number of spaces, I just double the numbers from my ruler. For example, 1 centimeter means 2 dot grid spaces, so 4 centimeters means 8 dot grid spaces. If that kind of math isn't really your thing, you can make a grid spacing ruler for your journal out of one of the pages in the back of your journal. Just cut away the side of the page, write numbers in all of the boxes from top to bottom, and you can also mark in specific page divisions to make setting up faster. For example, on this one, I have the vertical page divisions for halves, thirds, and also for when I want 7 sections. For example, when I'm setting up a weekly spread. This ruler isn't see-through though, so you can make it double-sided, having vertical journal spacings on one side and the horizontal journal spacings on the other. Another hack related to the grid spacing guide is to put it in the front of your journal as a flip out. This means that you'll be able to see it from any page in your journal. Other things that can be put in as flip outs include your journal key, color codes, and other reference materials. Color keys can be an excellent way to add context to your event and task lists. For example, you might want to color code your tasks by location. Then when you're in that space, you can focus on those tasks specifically. It can also help you to see the balance of your tasks from different life areas. Getting things lined up nice and straight is important to me, and might be to you as well. To make sure that items with straight edges are kept straight on my pages, I use the dot grid to help me line them up. Just bring the straight edge of the item to be stuck in along a column or row of the dot grid, making sure that an equal amount of each dot is covered by that edge. Making clean and crisp boxes of colour using marker pens doesn't have to be a hassle. Use washi tape to mask parts of your page to get those crisp lines. Just place the washi tape down where you want the edge of the boxes to be, color in that section of the page, and then carefully pull up the washi tape. To make pages in your journal easier to reference or find when your journal is closed, put washi tape along the side of those pages. Thicker washi tape will work better for this, as you'll be able to more easily see them when your journal is closed. Another hack to help you find pages in your journal is to use tabs. These can be purchased as tab stickers, or you can make them out of any stickers or washi tape you might have. Just stick them on one side of your page and then fold them around to the other, making sure to leave a little bit hanging over the edge so they're nice and easy to see and pull open too. Inverted or negative tabs also work for this. You can cut out tabs or little triangular sections out of pages that hold information about the same project or thing. This makes it easier to find all of the related content when your journal is closed. Stuff-ups happen, and sometimes we have an entire page that we don't want in our journals anymore. Remove pages safely by cutting away the page a little further out than the spine. Then, you can stick down the remaining piece of the page with double-sided tape or washi tape. This means you're less likely to cut too close to the binding edge of your journal and make other pages fall out. The removed pages, or parts of pages, are excellent to keep for covering up smaller mistakes. You can store them in a box of scraps or in the back of your journal. Extra paper can be used in your journal to make tip-ins, and these can be used to add extra space to a layout. On this page, there wasn't enough space for all of the items that were related to this collection, but the attached tip-in gives more space to write in more things. Our next two hacks or tips are for those who don't really like the idea of taking scissors to their journals to make Dutch doors. The first tip is to use a tip-in to make the Dutch door. This is especially good for horizontal Dutch doors, which would require you to cut away the page at the spine of your journal. Just measure the tip-in Dutch door to size and stick it to the spinage of the spread with washi tape. The next hack for making Dutch doors without scissors is to use the folded Dutch door instead. These are a vertical Dutch door, so just fold along the middle of the page. You can either leave this just creased, so you can use all 4 segments of the page, or you can stick one side to the other to make a narrower page in your journal. If you have a list of tasks that you need to do each week, but you don't want to write them out on every single weekly, this is where you can use a Dutch door to help you. Turn to either the first or last page of your weeklies in that month, and write your task list out along one of the outer edges of the spread. I'm writing along the right-hand side, as this is the last page of my weeklies. Then you just need to cut away the pages in that area to have the list visible on each of the weekly pages. I've also included little dots on each of the weekly pages where I can check off having completed those tasks. Sometimes we want to take down messy notes that we don't necessarily want to keep in our journals forever. For these, store some post-it notes in your journal in an easy-to-reference space. The inside or back cover of your journal works well, otherwise you could have a dedicated page in the middle of your journal for this. For our self-proclaimed non-artists, or for people like me who just want an exact replica of an image in their journals, tracing images in notebooks with thicker paper can be a bit of a challenge. You can trace images into 160 GSM paper notebooks by colouring in the back of the image with a graphite pencil, temporarily securing the image right way up into the correct place in your journal. I'm using washi tape for this. Then go over the outlines of the image with either pencil or a pen. I prefer to use a coloured ballpoint pen for this, so I can see the lines that I've gone over, while also not running the risk of having ink bleed through the image that I'm tracing. When you're done, pull the image up to reveal the traced picture. What hacks did we miss? Let us know your hacks in the comments. Or if you're looking for more bullet journal tips and tricks, check out the playlists and videos we have on the screen here. Until next time, bye!